Excellent Sheep by William Deresiewicz. Summary from 4 Minute Books. Written by Nicholas Gouquet and read by Jonathan McGinley. One-sentence summary. Excellent Sheep describes how fundamentally broken elite education is, why it makes students feel depressed and lost, how educational institutions have been alienated from their true purpose, what students really must learn in college, and how we can get back to making college a place for self-discovery and critical thinking. Favorite quote from the author: "You won't be able to recognize the things you really care about until you have released your grip on all the things you've been taught to care about." If you're a college student, read Excellent Sheep next. In terms of helping intelligent young people in higher education who secretly feel lost, like they don't know what they really want out of life, this is the best wake-up call I've found all year. Earlier this year, I started my master's degree at Technical University of Munich after 2 years of being self-employed. On the outside, it'll look to a lot of people like I couldn't make freelancing work, and some might think I even came to my senses. What I haven't talked a lot about yet is that after finishing the degree, I still have no intent to work for anyone but myself. My choice had a purely economic reason. Plus, I like Munich, I'll admit that. Being a student for another 2 years is the cheapest way to keep working on my lifestyle business in terms of tax, health insurance, etc. I hope to not only pull it off, but also to inspire my fellow students to do their own things in the process, which is why I started documenting the journey on my Instagram in German. Let's see what else I can do to try and fix the system from within, so people come out as lions, not just as excellent sheep. In the meantime, here are 3 lessons from the book. 1. Elite college students feel lost and depressed, many of whom end up in careers they don't like. 2. Prestigious universities are run like businesses, not schools. And 3. College should be a time of critical thinking and self-discovery, not mere skill acquisition. Chances are, your view of higher education is warped. I know mine was. Let's remove the filter, okay? Lesson 1. Most elite college graduates end up in financing or consulting because they don't know what they really want and feel lost. First of all, the problems with our educational system aren't limited to elite schools like Harvard, Yale, where the author is a professor, and Columbia. The system as a whole is fundamentally broken, and it shows. According to a 2010 study by the American Psychological Association, almost 50% of students report a feeling of hopelessness, and over 30% admit being so depressed that they find it hard to function normally throughout the year. Of course, the already tough strain that's put on our students these days is taken to an extreme at schools like Stanford, where students tend to suffer from something called duck syndrome. On the surface, they seem to be cruising along, but beneath the water, they're struggling. Hard work isn't that hard when it's fun. But when you don't know what kind of life you want, it's impossible to find that kind of work. Because most students and recent graduates don't even have the time to do the kind of self-searching college is actually meant for, they end up in jobs they don't really care for. For example, almost half of all Harvard graduates end up in finance or consulting, even though very few of them indicated any interest in these industries when they started out as freshmen. Lesson 2. The most prestigious college institutions are run like businesses, not schools, so they miss the point of education. The reason students feel lost lies, at least in part, with the way colleges they attend are run. Especially prestigious schools suffer from monetization, because the more money a college has and makes, the more it's run like a business, not a school. For example, TU Munich has a budget of almost 800 million euros. In case of Harvard and Company, we're talking about billions. With money comes pressure to keep and grow that money. So elite colleges try to be efficient by spending most of their budget on research, which in turn generates more funding and revenue. That means economically profitable majors are preferred over liberal arts ones. The professors have to be great researchers, but not necessarily great teachers, and students are treated like customers. In spite of being artificially hard to get in, Harvard admits about 5% of all applicants. Once students enroll and pay thousands of dollars, their average GPA soars to 3.43 in 2007. If on a 0.0 to 4.0 scale, the average is 3.43, the scale is either wrong or the number's inflated. This adds even more pressure to perform, and so most students don't use their time in college to do what is actually meant for, which is Lesson 3. Originally, college was a time of self-discovery and learning to think critically, and we need to go back to that. Learning how to think for themselves. When you graduate high school at 18 years old, you have a whole ton of ideas and beliefs about the world, most of which aren't your own. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, they've all majorly shaped your views and values. If done right, college is the best place to let go of these acquired beliefs, which the ancient Greeks called doxa, and thought it to be our duty to liberate ourselves from them. College in its original form made this possible mainly due to two factors. One, being a break from the real world, away from family and career pressure, giving you time to think critically and discover what you really want. Two, having qualified teachers challenge your opinions and beliefs and starting a dialogue about them. Finding out what you really want takes time, but time is the last thing you have on an obstacle course, which is exactly what most colleges have turned into. So, wherever you go to school, remember, don't rush. Take your time, ask questions, and think about what you really want.
Hey, this is Nick, the founder of 4-Minute Books, and I want to thank you so much for watching our video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel for more. You can also visit us at 4minutebooks.com for hundreds of free book summaries, each of which will make you smarter in 4 minutes or less. Thanks again, and always keep learning.